Hi everyone, my name is Daryl and I'm the Northern Vinyl Guy. For the last, 6 to 12 months, I've been toying with the idea of doing my own, vinyl community channel. And after watching Rob Walker's 2024 Vinyl Tag video, I thought I'd give it a shot and uh, and see how it goes. I have interest in music ranging all the way from the 1920s to the present. I got a vinyl collection. You can kind of see it here behind me. And, I thought I'd just take a stroll down memory lane and see what I did this past year. And we'll go from there. So, Rob Walker came up with 20 questions. I'm sure I'm a little late to the party on this one, but, thought I'd give it a shot. So, starting with question number one, what was my favorite purchase of 2023? I do have one and then a little bit of a cheat here, but my favorite purchase of 2023 was Glass Tiger's 33 EP. This was released, I think, in 2018 or 2019, but I think it's a great album. This one's signed, autographed by the members of the band, and of course it's on red vinyl. Hailing from Canada, I love Glass Tiger. The honorable mention on this one for Christmas, it's not one that I bought, but in the last few years, my daughter has purchased a couple of vinyl records for me, and this one here is important to me. The Division Bell, Pink Floyd. It's one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums. I was introduced to it when I was in university in the late 1990s, and I don't know. There's just something about it. I do have, the Wall as well, but the Division Bell is probably my favorite one. The last record I bought in 2023, question number two. There was a few. I had gone to a flea market or a thrift store, and I did get about 4 or 5 records, but the one that I wanted to point out today is Stevie Wonder here. This is the one with Master Blaster, Hotter Than July album. So pretty cool. This was actually a pretty cheap album. I think I got it for like a couple bucks. So great pickup there. Number three, a band or singer that released 2 albums in the same year. Well, I'm going to go with 1976. I only have one of these 2 albums, but A Trick of the Tail by Genesis. This is an awesome album. It's right after, the band split, and Phil kind of took over the vocals and the drums. And the second one from 1976 is the Wind and Wuthering album. Trick of the Tail. If you could only listen to music from one decade, what would it be? Well, I was born in 1979, and a lot of people would probably go based on their teenage years. However, my teenage years were the 1990s, and I find that after 1995 or 1996, I just didn't really like the music of the 90s. So I'm going to go up with the music of my childhood, and that being the 1980s. So I'm going to give you some vinyl records, examples of why I like the 1980s. You can't go wrong. The Cars, Greatest Hits. I personally like U2, but I'll go with Boy. But I like all 1980s U2. The Police and Synchronicity. A little mellow music with Krista Berg. And Into the Light. This is the one with Lady in Red. Great slow dancing song. Metallica, if we're going to go with a little thrash metal or some heavier stuff, go with some Ride the Lightning. Tears for Fears. I don't have songs from the Big Chair yet. That's one of my my albums on my wish list right now, but we'll go with The Hurting. Some Billy Joel. Gotta like Billy Joel, a little rock and roll. And then, of course, Michael Jackson's Thriller album, right? Can't go wrong with a little Michael Jackson. Number 5, a band or singer from Manchester. I had to do a little bit of research on this one. And so I'm gonna go with the Hollies. I used to perform in just a cover band. I was a drummer in just a local cover band, and Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress. We used to cover that song, so I'll go with that just for memory's sake. The band or musician that I listened to the most in 2023. Well, that's hard to say, but another one of my purchases that I did make this year that I liked. It's an unofficial press, but that is Firehouse, and this is the album that has "Hold Your Fire." It's got "When I Look Into Your Eyes" on orange vinyl. I think I've listened to that one the most. I do like it, both sides. So yeah. All right. Number 7, show 7-inch records. I do have 7 of them. I've chosen to go with 6 that do have the nice cover, and then 1 for a little sentimental reason. All right, so the first one I'm going to go with is Glass Tiger's Thin Red Line. Being that I am from Canada, actually quite a few of these 7 inches are going to be from Canadian bands, but I do really like Glass Tiger, as you can see. We'll go with some Haywire and Dance Desire. This is actually a 3-song single, but Dance Desire is the single that became big here in Canada. Go with a little 1980s and Murray Head's One Night in Bangkok. Another Canadian band, Honeymoon Suite, What Does It Take? Little USA for Africa, and We Are the World. And I also have this as a 12-inch single as well. Okay. Zappa Costa, Nothing Can Stand in Your Way. And then my 7th one, many years back as a Christmas gift from my younger brother. And this is one of my crazy bands that I used to listen to in the 90s, but a little bit of Green Jelly. And this is the Three Little Pigs single, and this is the one with Maynard Keenan from Tool, and he voices the Three Little Pigs throughout the song. And so what that's going to do is it's going to kind of segue into the next question, and the next question is, who would I invite to a party, past or present, musicians, if I could invite them? And that first, segueing in here. The first one that I would invite is Maynard from Tool. Just bring up the Undertow album here. But Maynard from Tool, one of my favorite bands actually, from the 90s. And Maynard actually has his own vineyard, Merkin Vineyards. So I figured, he's quite a philosophical guy. He can bring the wine to the party and discuss what his thoughts are. The second person I would invite from the 1980s would be Weird Al Yankovic. I just thought I'd bring him in for some comedic effect. I think he'd be hilarious to have there, and maybe we could do some karaoke. Okay. From a fashionable sense, going back to the 1970s, got a little Elton John. I think it'd be great. People can bring fashionable clothes or just bring whatever they want to wear to the party. And then, of course, to get the dance going, from the 1960s, I would invite Chubby Checker. Could do the twist, could do the limbo. I think those would be all great choices to the party. All right, number 9. A member of the music industry that we lost in 2023. I'm going to go with the bass player from GTR, Paul Spalding. We lost him, but I didn't realize he was actually in this super group. If you're not familiar with GTR or Guitar, they ran a one-hit wonder song called When the Heart Rules the Mind. All right, number 10. If I could listen to music from only one country, what would it be? Well, I gotta go with my country here, Canada. I love Canada. I love Canadian music. And so, not that I don't like American music, not that I don't like British music or Australian music. I've got quite a taste. But I think I would, listen to Canadian music if I could. So why? Got a little bit of Bryan Adams. Cuts like a knife here. You know, Bryan Adams, probably one of the more famous Canadian musicians. You know, the Guess Who. Can't go wrong with the Guess Who and Burton Cummings. A little bit of Anne Murray from the East Coast. Some Gino Vanelli from the province of Quebec. I Just Want to Stop on this album here. Just a motion away. If you want to get into some obscure Canadian music, go with the rock band Zon on blue vinyl. Astral Projector. And a recent purchase that I got from Canadian musician is Jagged Little Pill. Actually, I got this from a Secret Santa. I did not purchase this, so shout out to my Secret Santa. But Alanis Morissette. All great Canadian musicians. All right. 3 vinyl communities that I discovered in 2023. Well, these are pretty, popular vinyl communities online that I discovered, but I recently got into doing the vinyl community thing and searching for them. So Robert Fithen is one vinyl channel. I watch that one regularly. NTX Vinyl out of Texas. Love his show. In fact, my record collection here was actually featured on his part 2 video. Norman Maslov. Love his humor. Love his videos. And then I will do a shout out to a Canadian thread as well, or Canadian channel. That is channel 33 RPM. I do relate to him and his music. He's out of Winnipeg, I believe. And I grew up in northwestern Ontario, very familiar with that part of the country, so love his show. Number 12, a record I bought as a teenager. Well, when I was a teenager, I was buying mainly CDs. In fact, I didn't buy any vinyl until the 2000s after I graduated university. I had inherited some from my grandfather, and then I started purchasing my own. But an album that I bought, one of the first albums that I bought this on cassette, but now I have it on vinyl. Gotta love the Vanilla Ice to the extreme. Ice Ice Baby. Another album that I bought, but I don't have it on vinyl, but I used to have it on cassette. I purchased it on my grade 8 Toronto trip, was Snow's Informer. So it'd be kind of cool to get that on vinyl as well someday. All right, a funk or a soul record. Well, I'm going to go with a little Lionel Richie and the Commodores, some Brick House. That's some pretty funky music here, and just some grooving that you can do. If you're just chilling in your vinyl room, or you're cleaning the house, or whatever it is that you're doing. Got some pretty cool funky music right here. All right, a record that everyone has and a record that no one has. Well, I don't know if everyone has this, but I think that a good portion of the VC probably have Queen's Greatest Hits. This is the one that I was introduced to by my father at an early age. So great album, Queen's Greatest Hits. And one that I don't think anybody has, well, here it was a thrift shop blind buy that I did, band called North Fork. I don't know much about this band. It's kind of on an independent record label. But it's more of like a folk or world, maybe even a country bluegrass type music. Kind of cool stuff. North Fork's self-titled album. All right. She's Great, a record by a female artist that I purchased in 2023. This is one of my favorite female albums of all time, and that is the self-titled Amanda Marshall. She hails from Canada. Popular songs on it include Let It Rain, Birmingham, Dark Horse. To me, this is one of my favorite albums, like I said, of all time, and in my opinion, a near perfect album. A 90s classic album. Sorry, number 16. I skipped over that. Number 16, my favorite video posted in 2023. Well, seeing that this is my first video, I didn't have any videos that I posted in 2023. So I guess this would have to go with my favorite video, seeing that it's my first one so far. And my favorite video done by a member of the vinyl community. I love Robert Fithen. I think his videos are hilarious, educational. And I find that he does align a lot of his tastes, at least from American music perspective, with mine. So I will go with some Robert Fithen videos. All right, number 17, a classic 90s album. I could have gone with the usual choices, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, some Radiohead. But what I'm going to go with is Live's Throwing Copper. This is kind of my mid-high school. Loved this album. Used to rock to this in my basement. And I can listen to this thing from start to finish. But yeah, Live's Throwing Copper. Classic 90s. Number 18. If I could walk into an album cover, which would it be and why? Well, this is going to be kind of an unusual album. I probably could have put this on the Not Too Many People Have This album as well. But when I was growing up, my dad used to have this album, and it's just a really weird album. It's a band called Baby Grand, and their album Ancient Medicine. I think the reason that I would go into this album is just that is so weird. I would just love to have been there with the person that was creating this vegetable piece of art and kind of get an idea as to why they were doing it, and maybe even help make that particular album cover. So Baby Grand's Ancient Medicine. All right, number 19. It's like a greatest hits album. Well, I'm going to have to go with Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. Pretty much all the songs on this album I know, including the title track, Born in the USA. But of course, you got Cover Me, you've got Downbound Train, I'm on Fire, and then on the back side, side 2, you got Dancing in the Dark, Glory Days. So perfect greatest hits album. And then number 20, an album that was released in 1974. That'll be 50 years old this year. Well, I'm going to go with this. The first concert that I ever went to. I was a little kid. For some reason, we were visiting grandparents in Quebec City. And Emerson, Lake and Palmer was playing in Quebec City. And my dad and mom, I'm assuming that they couldn't find someone to watch us. And so me and my brother were also at this concert. I might have been 6 or 7 years old. So I'm going to go with the Welcome Back, My Friends, Emerson, Lake and Palmer album. Actually, this is a 3-disc record. And so, yeah, this is going to be turning 50 years old in 2024. So that's kind of cool. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. My goal is to try to put out some more content for you. Like I said, I truly enjoy the 1980s. I love 70s music, love 90s music, 60s rock and roll. And so my goal is to put out some top 10 videos and different videos associated with music that I enjoy. Perhaps a video about Canadian bands and stuff like that. So I hope that you enjoyed. Love for you to subscribe, be a member of my channel. And yeah, so ciao, take it easy, and I'll see you on the flip side.